Look at that bamboo grow. That's all new growth. All that tall stuff is all new. Even this stuff up front on the end. The only thing that's old growth is some of that stuff inside there. This has more than doubled itself in like 10 days. It's amazing what a little rain and a little sun will do. Yeah. So eventually I got to harvest it and replant it in the back, up along that fence back there. I want to make it a living fence and kind of hide all that. And that's not going to rot for years. So I figure I'd do it. But anyway, I figure I'd show you guys what we're doing down here. I think I may have showed what I was doing with the, hey Tuck, I heard you back there. Yes, I heard you back there. Wait a minute, buddy. So anyway, I think I showed you what I was doing down here. And if not, I'll show you now. I started this last fall, but I gave up on it real quick, and I think I was down to that first little level there, if you can see it. Let me walk it down here. Yeah, last fall I was right about to that first level right there, that little mark across there, as you can see, which is about 3 feet down. And I started going over to the two sides a little bit, the same. I just used this up the rest of the year. So now I'm down about 12 feet. And that's about 8 feet, 9 feet wide. And this part here is about 12 feet wide. I got to widen the rest of this. I want to level it out down here because I think at 12 feet I'm deep enough to do what I want to do. And then I got to eventually get this all done and dig out with the backhoe. I can't use the front loader on this because I got to get a wall type of situation going here, so I'll have to backhoe the rest of it. But I'm using that fill. This is coming in handy to fill this all in. And I think I had told you before, this was all way down there, and all that down there used to look like all that over there. You couldn't even walk through it. That's everything I'm walking on now. Used to be like this over here. Let me get over here a little further to give you an idea. Alright, see this? Everything that I just walked on was all like this. I mean, it was just, forget about walking through here. You know, you were getting prickers, stomping, falling, tripping. I mean, it was just a nightmare. It was all like this. Alright, all overgrown. It's hard to believe how bad it really is on film, but that's the way it is. Pricker bushes. But using that hole that I've been using, I'm going to put a little underground garage. Actually, it's going to be a two-story garage, you know, one with a basement and then the above, so that's going to be a foundation. But that dirt and fill that I've been taking out of there, I've been using to fill this. Right? And that's where I'm at. So I'm going to take a little bit more today and fill up a little bit more of this. And there's a little pile over there I got to cover, but let me walk you down to give you an idea on how much fill I've taken out of that hole and how much fill I've actually done. Now again, all this that you're seeing here used to look like that over there. Again, this was not walkable by no means. Alright, wait a minute. I mean, even animals didn't come down in here. I mean, that's how bad it was. But this is where we're at. And this is where I've got it so far. And as you can see, that wall right there. Wait a minute, guys. I'll be there in a minute. Kind of gives you the indication as to how much fill I actually brought in. So I got a log wall going there, and that's going to be a stop. It's going to be like a 2-tier, maybe 3-tier by the time I'm done. I've got another wall that I'm starting over there. I got the logs for it. This I'm going to clean up a little bit and keep it here and use it as a planter of some sort. Plus give it some character down here. This piece here, I'm going to leave that actually. Alright, and some of the growth that's on it, those two pieces of tree that fell. However, I'm going to clean out everything underneath it and all this shit in between it that you see. Alright, again, this is how this whole thing was. All of this that you see was all like this. Alright. And even the birds are starting to use it more now that they can get in here. I mean, because like I say, this was really inhabitable. Nobody was able to really use it. Now the birds can get in here, as you can hear. Now this, I'm going to kind of keep this with this canopy that's grown, this natural canopy. So I'm going to try to keep this. I'm going to try to keep that tree. Alright, and then all this. And then I still got to clean all this up, cut this up, and push through. Because again, this is all going to be pushed through and leave it like the rest of it I just showed you as far as being cleaned. And then I can start running a fence along here. Actually, up on top of that, I'm going to run the fence along the top. So I already started it over there. I think it might be this. No, you can't see it. But yeah, then we'll get going. And once the railroad is done renting the property over here, I'll have more room over here to go work with. There's actually a pond over there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, next to that flag. So. But anyway, back to this. This is what I got to clean up. This is what I've been working on. Eventually I'll get this seeded and all fenced in. We're thinking about, I'm going to keep that there too, I think. I'm just going to cut it back a little bit more. I don't know yet. I may leave it just like it is, but that's all got to get cleaned up over there. But we're thinking about putting a little barbecue pit down here and a picnic table. Yeah, and then naturally I'll get power down here and I'll put a couple lights up in the trees and maybe a bug zapper up in the tree. I haven't seen many bugs down here, but I think if we start cooking down here or hanging out down here, we'd get them. And then on top of that rock, I just talked to a blaster. I don't want the rock blown up, but he can drill the holes because they normally drill holes in for blasting. So I want to have him drill some holes in that rock, 2" by 18" because I want to run some fencing up in that rock. I don't know if you can see the orange flag up there. Alright, but that's, and then where that rope is, I don't know if you can see that rope. Let me see if I can find it. I guess not. Wait a minute, I gotta find my bearings here. There it is. Okay. I want to put a fence there, and naturally it goes over the rock. I should go around the rock, but no, not me. And then on top of that rock, because it is, where are we? Because it is flat. Let me back up again. There we go. And it is flat. It's about 30 feet, 25, 30 feet high. But it is walkable. As you walk around it, you can find different paths to get up it safely. I'm going to put a picnic table up there and clear that out a little bit as well. So, and then maybe make a little walk-through garden, you know, little plants here and there, things. So, but that's where I'm at so far. And I'll walk you over here. I don't want to use up too much time. But, so now we're looking down on where I had just come from. There's more of the fence, or the logs that I'm going to be using. And we got this one here, which is also, that's probably about 10 to 12 foot down that you're not realizing it because of all the growth. Where I was down before, when I walked down and around under that little canopy area, that's where this would bring me if I was to continue to go down. So this is all going to be cleared as well. And I got to clear that out. I originally was going to leave that and have this go down further and have that like an arch. But I decided, you know what, I'm just going to cut it up and clear it out. Screw it. And then over here, again, this was all like what you've seen. But I've been working on leveling this down. So, and getting this done. So, yeah. But this is where we're at so far, guys. Keeps me busy. Keeps me busy. And then down here, this is also going to bring me down to, where are we? Hold on. Now I got this filled in as well. Now if I continue to here, through here, you would go back to that canopy part that I showed you when I walked down and around. Well, this is the other side. Alright, so eventually I'll be coming right up through here. Oh, and there's part of that fence down there. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, there it is. That's the corner. So, but that's where we're at. And this has been filled. Now I got piles of these rocks. So I'm going to make something. Loop back up. Make something out of these rocks, a little rock formation or something. I'm thinking about taking a couple of these small trees down, but I don't know yet. And then we got that over there. And then the other side of the fence, back in the yard, we've put up a garden, which we've had now for the last couple of years. But every now and then the little characters tend to get in there and eat up our tomatoes. So what I did was I planted a couple tomato plants over here. Because if you were a little critter and you want to eat tomatoes, are you going to go inside a garden where there's dogs and things that chase you around and you got to watch your back? Or are you going to come over here in a wooded area to where you know you're protected and eat what's free for you? So I gave the critters their own little tomato plants at Mom John to keep them away from ours. And there's the boys. There's my Duffy. And my Lance, and my Tucker, and my Bear, yeah. There's my peach. Now these are pear trees, but not pear as in they're gonna grow fruit. So we got 4, 5, 6 of them. Then we have a couple of real fruit trees growing. We got a pear, no, a peach, an apple, and a cherry. And then there's the other side of that bamboo. There's the back of the garage. That isn't finished painting yet. Let me see if I can zoom in on it before the battery goes dead. Yeah. And then beyond that, back there further, you can see the back of the house. And then up top there you see my little wind turbine and my solar panels. That shack over there has got all the batteries and chargers that run the inverters and such into the house. Then there's a truck body there that I bought a box and put siding on it, and I use that for a shed. It was actually cheaper to buy that than it was to build another shed. And I got the pile of wood over there that I got to finish cutting up for the winter. And there's that rock again with a fence. Like I said, that fence is going to be moved up over that rock where I showed you before. This is our light pole. At night it lights up every time there's a critter going by. It's on a sensor. We ran all underground power. That's kind of where we're at. So eventually this is all going to be all fenced in and seeded, like this used to be. This was all like this back here as well, by the way. Right where that bamboo is, that's where this fence used to be. And Darlene and I moved it from there back to here. So, but where all that is right now, hey boys, from that bamboo back, alright, all used to be like that back there. Nothing but woods and weeds. And actually it was a lot, this is fill. I brought all this in, and now I'm cutting it down a little bit. But this all used to be like, oh shit, maybe 8 to 10 feet lower than where it is now. So, hard to believe, but that's what it looked like. I should have taken pictures in the beginning, but I never thought of it. So, alright guys, I gotta put this on charge.